Part two. Hades raised an eyebrow. When he sat forward in the throne, shadowy faces appeared in the folds of his black robe, spaces of torment, as the garments were stitched of trapped souls from the fields of punishment. Trying to get out, the ADHD part of me wondered off task whether the rest of his clothes were made the same way. What horrible things would you have in your life to get woven into Hades' underwear? Only two requests, Hades said. You arrogant child, as if you have not already taken enough. Speak then, it amuses me not to strike you dead yet. I swallowed. This was going about as well as I feared. I glanced at the empty, smaller throne next to Hades. It was shaped like a black flower, gilded with gold. I wished Queen Persephone was here. I recalled something in the myths about how she would calm her husband's moods. But in summer, of course, Persephone would be above in the world of light, and her mother, the goddess of agriculture, to meet her. Her visits, not the tilt of the planet, create the seasons. Annabeth cleared her throat. Her finger prodded me in the back. Lord Hades, I said, look, sir, there can't be war among the gods. It would be, bad. Really bad, Grover added hopefully. Return Zeus's master bolt to me, I said. Please, sir, let me carry it to Olympus. Hades' eyes grew dangerously bright. You dare! Keep up this pretense after what you have done. I glanced back at my friends. They looked as confused as me. Uncle, I said, you keep saying after what I've done. What exactly have I done? The throne room shook with a tremor so strong. They probably felt it upstairs in Los Angeles. Debris fell from the cavern ceiling. Doors burst open all along the walls, and skeletal warriors marched in, hundreds of them, from every time period in the nation of Western civilization. They lined the perimeter of the room, blocking the exits. Hades bellowed, do you think I want war, godling? I wanted to say, well, these guys don't look like peace activists, but I thought that it might be a dangerous answer. You are the Lord of the Dead, I said carefully. A war would expand your kingdom, right? A typical thing for my brothers to say. Do you think I need more subjects? Did you not see the spoil in the fields? Well, have you any idea how much my kingdom has swollen in this past century alone? How many subdivisions I've had to open? I opened my mouth to respond, but Hades was on a roll now. More security ghouls! Traffic problems at the Judgment Pavilion. Double overtime for the staff. I used to be a rich god, Percy Jackson. I control all the precious metals under the earth, but my expenses go. Hera wants a pay raise, I blurted, just remembering the fact as soon as I said it, I wish I never had and would have just sewn up my mouth. Don't get me started on Charon, Hades yelled. He's been impossible ever since he discovered Italian suits problems everywhere, and I've got to handle all of them. Personally, the commute time alone from the palace to the gates is enough to drive me insane. The dead just keep arriving. No god thing. I need no help getting subjects. I did not ask for the war. But you took Zeus's master bolt, I said. Please. More rumbling. Hades rose from the throne, towering to the height of the football goalpost. Your father may fool Zeus, boy, but I am not so stupid. I see his plan. His plan? You were the thief of the winter solstice, he said. Your father thought to keep you his little secret. He directed you to the throne room of Olympus. You took the master bolt and my helm. Had I not sent my fury to discover you at Yancy Academy, Poseidon might have succeeded in hiding his scheme to start a war. But now you have been forced into the open, you will be exposed as Poseidon's thief. And I will have my helm back. But, Annabeth spoke. I could hear her mind was going 1,000,000 miles per hour. Lord Hades, your helm of darkness is missing too? Do not play innocent with me, gal! You and the satyr have been helping the hero, coming here to threaten me in Poseidon's name, no doubt to give me the ultimatum. Does Poseidon think I can be blackmailed into supporting him? No, I said. Poseidon. Shh. Poseidon didn't. I didn't. I have said nothing of the helm's disappearance. Hades said, because I had no illusion that anyone on Olympus would offer me the slightest justice, the slightest help. I can ill afford for word to get out that my most powerful weapon of fear is missing. So I searched you myself, and when it was clear that you were coming to me to deliver your threat, I did not try to stop you. You didn't try to stop us, but return my helm now, or I will stop death. Hades threatened. That is my counter-proposal. I will open the earth and have the dead pour back into the world. I will make your land a nightmare, and you, Percy Jackson, your skeleton, will lead my army out of Hades. The skeletal soldiers all took one step forward, making their weapons ready. At that point, I probably would have been terrified. The strange thing was, I felt offended. Nothing gets me angrier than being accused of something I didn't do. I've had a lot of experience with that. You're as bad as Zeus, I said. You think I stole from you. That's why you sent the Furies after me. Of course, Hades said. And the other monsters. Hades curled his lip. I had nothing to do with them. I wanted a quick death for you. I wanted you brought before me alive so you may face every torture in the field of punishment. Why do you think I let you enter my kingdom so easily? Easily? Return my property! But I don't have your helm. I came for the Master Bolt. Which you already possess, Hades shouted. You come here with it, you little fool, thinking you could threaten me. But I didn't. Open your pack then! A horrible feeling struck me. The weight in my backpack like a bowling ball. It couldn't be. I slung it off my shoulder and unzipped it. Inside was a 2-foot-long metal cylinder, spiked at both ends, humming with energy. Percy, Annabeth said, how? I don't know, I don't understand. You heroes are always the same, Hades said. Your pride makes you foolish, thinking you could bring such a weapon before me. I did not ask Zeus for a Master Bolt, but since it's here, you will yield it to me. I am sure it will make you an excellent bargaining tool, and now my helm, where is it? I was speechless. I had no helm. I had no idea how the Master Bolt had gotten into my backpack. I wanted to think Hades was pulling off some kind of trick. Hades was a bad guy, but suddenly the world turned sideways. I realized I'd been played with. Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades had been set at each other's throats by someone else. The Master Bolt had been in the backpack, and I'd gotten the backpack from... Anyone remember who gave him a backpack? Who was it? Ares gave him a backpack. Lord Hades, wait, this is all a mistake. A mistake! Hades roared. The skeletons aimed their weapons from high above. There was a fluttering of leathery wings, and the 3 Furies swooped down to perch at the back of their master's throne. The one with Mrs. Dodd's face grinned at me eagerly and flipped her whip. There is no mistake, Hades said. I know why you have come. I know the real reason you brought the bolt. You came to bargain for her. Hades loosened a ball of gold fire from his palm. It exploded on the steps in front of me, and there was my mother, frozen in a shower of gold. Just as she sat there, the moment the Minotaur began to squeeze her to death. I couldn't speak. I reached out to touch her, but the light was as hot as a bonfire. Yes, Hades said, I took her. I knew, Percy Jackson, that you would come to bargain with me eventually, return my helm, and perhaps I will let her go. She is not dead, you know. Not yet, but if you displease me, that will change. I thought about the pearls in my pocket. Maybe they could get me out of this. If I could just get my mom free. Ah, your pearls, Hades said. Yes, my brother and his little tricks. Bring them forth, Percy Jackson. My hand moved against my will and brought out the pearls. Only 3, Hades said. What a shame. You do realize it only protects one single person. Try to take your mother, then, little godling, and which of your friends will you leave behind to spend eternity with me? Go on, choose, or give me the backpack and accept my terms. I looked at Annabeth and Grover. Their faces were grim. We were tricked, I told them. Set up. Yes, but why? Annabeth said. And the voice in the pit? I don't know yet, I said, but I intend to ask. Decide, boy! Hades yelled. Percy, Grover said, you can't give him the bolt. I know that. Leave me here. Use the third pearl on your mom. No, I'm a satyr. Grover said, we don't have souls like humans do. He can torture me until I die, but he won't get me forever. I'll just reincarnate as a flower or something. It's the best way. No, Annabeth drew her bronze knife. You two go on, Grover. You have to protect Percy. You have to get your searcher's license and start your quest for Pan. Get his mom out of here. I'll cover you. I plan to go down fighting. No way, Grover said. I'm staying behind. Think again, goat boy. Annabeth said, stop it, both of you. I felt like my heart was being ripped in two. They had both been with me through so much. I remembered Grover dive bombing Medusa in the statue garden and Annabeth saving us for the dog. We'd survived Hepatitis' Waterland ride in St. Louis Arch and the Lotus Casino. I had spent thousands of miles worried that I'd be betrayed by a friend, but these friends would never betray me. They had done nothing but save me over and over, and now they wanted to sacrifice their life for my mom. I know what to do, I said. Take these. I handed them each a pearl. But Percy, Annabeth said. I turned and faced my mother. I desperately wanted to sacrifice myself and use the last pearl on her. If I knew what she would say, she would never allow it. I had to get the bolt back to Olympus and tell Zeus the truth. I had to stop the war. She would never forgive me if I saved her instead. I thought about the prophecy made at Half-Blood Hill, what seemed like 1,000,000 years ago. You will fail to save what matters most in the end. I'm sorry, I told her. I'll go back. I'll find a way. The smug look on Hades' face faded. He said, Godling? I'll find your helm, Uncle. I told him I'll return it. Remember about Charon's pay raise. Do not defy me! And it wouldn't hurt to play with that dog once in a while. He likes red rubber balls. Percy Jackson, you will not! I shouted. Now, guys. We smashed the pearls at our feet. For a scary moment, nothing happened. Hades yelled, destroy them! The army of skeletons rushed forward, swords out, guns clicking in full automatic. The Furies lunged, their whips bursting into flame. The army of skeletons rushed forward. Just as the skeletons opened fire, the pearl fragments at my feet exploded with a burst of green light and a gust of fresh sea wind. I was encased in a milky white sphere, which was starting to float off the ground. Annabeth and Grover were right behind me. Spears and bullets sparked harmlessly off the pearl bubble as we floated up. Hades yelled with such a rage, the entire fortress shook, and I knew it was not going to be a peaceful night in LA. Look up! Grover yelled. What? We're going to crash! Sure enough, we were racing toward the ceiling, which I figured would pop our bubbles and skewer us. How do you control these things? Annabeth shouted. I don't think you do, I said back. We screamed as the bubbles slammed into the ceiling and darkness. Were we dead? No, I could still feel the racing sensation. We were going up through solid rock as easily as an air bubble in water. That was a power of pearls, I realized. What belongs to the sea will always return to the sea. For a few moments, I couldn't see anything outside smooth walls of my sphere. Then the pearl broke through on the ocean floor. The two other milky spheres, Annabeth and Grover, kept pace with me as we soared upright through the water, and kerblunk! We exploded on the surface in the middle of the Santa Monica Bay, knocking a surfer off his board, and he yelled, dude. I grabbed Grover and hauled him over to the life buoy. I caught Annabeth and dragged her over too. Ooh, a curious shark was circling us, a great white shark about 11 feet long. I said, feed it. The shark turned and raced away. The surfer screamed something about bad mushrooms and paddled away as fast as he could. Somehow I knew what time it was, early morning, June 21st, the day of the summer solstice. In the distance, Los Angeles was on fire, fumes of smoke rising from neighborhoods all over the city. There had been an earthquake, all right, and it was Hades' fault. He was probably sending an army of dead after me now. But at that moment, the underworld wasn't my biggest problem. I had to get to shore. I had to get Zeus's thunderbolt back to Olympus. Most of all, I had to get a serious conversation with the god who had tricked me. Okay, guys.